Good morning, everyone. My name is Tammy Sadler-Jones. I'm the Assistant City Administrator, and I'd like to call to order the License and Variance Board meeting for Wednesday, March the 23rd, 2016 at 10:01 a.m. Board members present. To my right is Scott Stokes, the Director of Public Works, and to my left is Roy Akery, the Fire Chief. Christiana Craddock is the Executive Assistant to the City Administrator, and she will be taking the official meeting minutes. First item is a public hearing, variance request V16007, allow accessory structure use inside yard, 0.176 acres, land lot 4881098, Parkview Place. Sloan Simpson is the applicant. Is Mr. Sloan here? Mr. Simpson, rather. Can you step to the podium? And for the record, can you state your name? And if you can pull that microphone up. Okay. Is that mic on, Christiana? All right. Can you hear? Okay, all right. Mr. Simpson, can you please tell us about your variance request? Okay. Any questions for the applicant?
So you're just surrounded by sewer lines and storm sewers and detention ponds and all that. So looking at the site plan or layout, I mean, you're not going to build a retaining wall or anything adjacent to that easement line on that side. So basically, you'll be flush with the ground.
Yeah, no, sir.
Okay.
Any other questions? Well, at this time, we'll have the staff, Joey Stobbs, make comments, please.
So the request is just to allow the pool in the side yard.
Thank you.
As it has been noted, there's sanitary sewer easements and drainage easements that bound the property on the rear and both sides. So that limits where the pool can be located. There will be a fence around the pool that'll screen it from the road, so it won't even be visible. we've seen other variances like this before, and they've been approved, so there is no negative precedent that'll be set. We recommend approval with one condition that the variance approval of the requested variance shall be conditioned upon the development of the property in substantial compliance with the site plan submitted with the variance application. There's been no stated opposition to the requests, so we recommend approval.
Okay. Any questions for the staff? Mr. Sloan, for the record, do you accept these stipulations as stated by the staff?
Yeah.
Step to the podium.
Sorry. Can you just restate the stipulations if you wouldn't mind, Joe?
Yeah, the condition is just that it's built according to how it was shown on the site plan with the application.
Okay. Yes. Please.
Okay. Okay. All right. This is a public hearing. If anyone else would like to speak regarding this issue, I ask that you please step to the podium at this time. All right. Seeing no one, I'd like to entertain a motion, please.
Make a motion to approve variance request V16-007, allow an accessory structure use in the side yard, .176 acres, land lot 488, 1098 Park View Place, with the stipulation that the approval of the requested variance be conditioned upon the development of the property in substantial compliance with the site plan submitted with the variance application.
Second motion.
It's been motioned and properly second that we approve variance request V16007. All in favor, please vote. All right. Motion passes unanimously. Thank you very much. Next item is a public hearing, variance request V16008, allow driveway setback reduction from 5 feet to 1 foot, 0.40 acres, land lot 520-2698 Gilbert Street. Sarah Curtis is the applicant. Is Ms. Curtis here? Can you step to the podium, please? And for the record, can you please state your name and tell us about your variance request?
Sure. Good morning. I'm Sarah Curtis. My house has an existing gravel driveway that I am wanting to replace with a concrete driveway. And the way that my house is laid out, if I were to put the concrete driveway 5 feet off the property line, I would not have access to my back gate to get to my backyard, and it would be pretty much in front of my house instead of to the side of my house. And because the existing driveway apron is even about 5 feet onto my neighbor's property, I'm having to remove that to shift it over, and so it would have to move a lot further than it's currently laid out in order to meet that 5 feet. So I'd like to be able to put it essentially over where it is right now, but entirely on my property, and 1 foot off the property line.
Any questions for the applicant?
So it looks like you're going to have to move your mailbox.
I already did.
Okay, and then you're not going to, your water meter is not going to be in conflict, is it? Okay.
No.
Any questions? All right. Well, at this time, we'll also have comments from the staff. Joey Stobbs, please.
Property is 2698 Gilbert Street. Applicants requested a reduction of driveway setback from 5 feet to 1 foot. That's a R15 zone lot. Requires the driveway to be 5 feet off the property line and requires it to be concrete or paved surface. Currently, it's an existing gravel drive and existing single-family structure on the property. So the applicant is just requesting to pave it and have it 1 foot off the property line. The several other structures on that side of the road that have driveways along the property line, and some are gravel, some are paved, but if approved, it would be consistent with that existing development pattern. And we recommend approval, just like the applicant stated. If it was shifted more towards inward to the property. It would be in front of the house. The next structure is, I believe it's like at least 15 feet off. I think I had it in there. The adjacent structure is approximately 10 feet off the property line, so there will be a gap between it and the driveway. So we've heard no opposition to the request. We will recommend approval with one condition, that approval of the requested variance is conditioned upon development of the property and substantial compliance with the site plan submitted.
And Ms. Curtis, for the record, can you step to the podium? Do you accept the condition as stated?
I do.
Okay. This is a public hearing. If anyone would like to speak regarding this issue, I ask that you please step to the podium at this time. You got some questions for the staff? Okay. All right. At this time, I'd like to entertain a motion, please.
Motion to approve variance request V16-008 to allow driveway setback reduction from 5 feet to 1 feet, 0.40 acre land lot 520 located at 2698 Gilbert Street for Sarah Curtis.
Second.
It's been motioned and properly second that we approve variance request V16008. All in favor, please vote. All right, motion passes unanimously. Thank you so much. Next item is a public hearing, variance request V16009, approval of a rear setback reduction from 100 feet to 70 feet, 0.98 acres, land lot 847, 2591 Spring Road, Integrity Engineering for McDonald's USA LLC. Is anybody from Integrity? Okay. Good morning.
Good morning.
For the record, can you please state your name and tell us about this first variance request?
Yeah, my name is Anthony Lynch with Integrity Engineering. Also with me today is Keisha Smith with McDonald's, Area Construction Manager. Okay. So where do I start on this one? We've been working on this one for a while. About 4 years ago, we started looking at rebuilding this restaurant. And then probably about 3 years ago, we first approached staff with a proposal to rebuild. Just didn't work out at that time. Something changed with McDonald's. The site plan just didn't really make sense for us. So we started looking at doing a rebuild or a major remodel of the restaurant because of just the restrictions on the site. So we looked at that for a little while. McDonald's said, no, we like this location. We want to reinvest here big time. So we're looking at doing a rebuild on this restaurant again. So we came up with another site plan, presented it to staff about a month ago, and we got their buy-in on this new site plan. So we've got 4 variances. The first one we're looking at is that building setback. It's a 100-foot rear building setback. The building is going to encroach about 30 feet. Behind us is, I think, a shopping mall and then a huge hill. So the shopping mall is way up on top of the hill. There really would be no impact on them at all with that rear variance encroachment.
Okay. Any questions for the applicant? All right, well, we'll have Mr. Stobbs make comments on this issue, please.
Property is 2591 Spring Road. Applicants requesting a rear setback reduction from 100 feet to 70 feet. The property's general commercial. That 100-foot setback on Spring Road is primarily to act as a buffer for residential properties in other parts of Spring Road. So this portion is not bounded or adjacent to any residential property. Like Anthony said, it's just commercial property, Aldi to the side, and then I think it's like the H.H. Gregg shopping center and whatnot behind it.
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But Cumberland and off Cumberland Road, Boulevard. So we've looked at this thing for several years, and this is a much better site plan that we support. On the rear setback reduction, we recommend approval. There's 2 conditions that we recommend that they go with all the other variances. I'll just read them once though. One is approval of the requested variance shall be conditioned upon the development of the property in substantial compliance with the site plan submitted. And 2, construction activity where it affects Cumberland Boulevard or Spring Road shall be limited to the hours of 9 a.m. to 4 p.m.
Any questions for the staff? And for the applicant, do you agree to the 2 conditions as stated?
Just like a little clarification on the second one. So construction activity where it affects Cumberland Boulevard or Spring Road, is that specifically with regards to road work on the roads? Or anything that would cause problems with traffic?
It's intended to any of the road work where the intersection improvements or the driveway improvements.
Okay. And that's only between 9 and 4, so only in the daytime?
Correct.
Okay. Yes. I
Okay.
agree.
This is a public hearing. If anyone else would like to speak regarding this issue, I ask that you please step to the podium at this time. Seeing no one, I'd like to entertain a motion, please.
Make a motion to approve variance request V16009. Approval of a rear setback reduction from 100 feet to 70 feet, 0.98 acres, land lot 847, 2591 Spring Road, with the following conditions. That approval of the requested variance shall be a condition upon the development of the property in substantial compliance with the site plan submitted with the variance application. And condition number 2, the construction activity where it affects Cumberland Boulevard or Spring Road shall be limited to the hours of 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. That really reflects that no roadway work, no lane closures, things like that would impede traffic between those hours.
Second motion.
It's been motioned and properly second that we approve variance request V16009. All in favor, please vote. All right, motion passes unanimously. Next item is a public hearing, variance request V16010. Allow reduction of parking requirements from 53 spaces to 47 spaces. 0.98 acres, land lot 847, 2591 Spring Road, Integrity Engineering for McDonald's USA LLC.
So for the parking variance, I think our proposal 3 years ago, we needed about 14 spaces in the variance. Now we only need 6. And let me just say this about the site plan, or the site. It's massively encumbered with easements, sewer easements, power easements, even a petroleum easement. So that really restricts the site. And then McDonald's has been here 25 years or so, I think at least. And since then, there's been a couple of right-of-way acquisitions. So the site has just gotten more and more restricted over time. And then the passage of the overlay district restricted it even more with the usable space. So those are some of the things we are facing when we're looking at redoing this rebuilding this plant, rebuilding the site. So we've really reduced the amount of parking variances we're asking for, and so we would appreciate your approval on that.
Any questions for the applicant?
In regards to the parking reduction from 53 spaces to 47 spaces, as Anthony mentioned, the original site plan had a double stack drive-through lane that, in our opinion, it was causing a lot of problems with the site plan, supplying parking for one, and the amount of other variances that it kind of triggered being another. This property, as you mentioned, has easements on it and several right-of-way acquisitions that have occurred on the property since it was constructed. One that just recently occurred for the Spring Road road work. So the revised site plan is back down to a single drive-through lane, and that's allowed the McDonald's to supply additional parking, and has allayed our concerns with any externalities that could have occurred from that larger parking reduction on the original site plan. So we recommend approval on this one with the same conditions as stated before.
Any questions for the staff?
Joey, with the same 2 conditions as before?
Yes.
We're going to carry those over on all of them?
Yes.
Just move forward, okay.
This is a public hearing. If anyone would like to speak regarding this issue, I ask that you please step to the podium at this time. Seeing no one, I'd like to entertain a motion, please.
Motion to approve variance request V16-010 to allow the reduction of parking requirements from 53 spaces to 47 at 0.98 acre land lot 847 2591 Spring Road for Integrity Engineering for McDonald's USA LLC, with the 2 stipulations as previously stated and passed on V16-009.
Second.
It's been motioned and properly second that we approve variance request V16010. All in favor, please vote. All right, motion passes unanimously. Next item is a public hearing, variance request V16011. Allow landscape strip reduction from 15 feet to 7.5 feet along Spring Road and 10 feet to 3.5 feet along Cumberland Boulevard. 0.98 acres, land lot 847, 2591 Spring Road, Integrity Engineering from McDonald's USA LLC.
Pretty much the same thing here as what I stated last time with the parking variance. Actually, we don't even have any landscaping on in the strip on Cumberland Boulevard now as it currently sits with the existing site, so we're actually adding to that. So we would appreciate your approval on this one.
Yes, the request is to reduce landscape strip on Spring Road from 15 feet to 7.5 feet and 10 feet to 3.5 feet along Cumberland. There is no existing landscape strip on Cumberland Boulevard, and there is one on Spring Road. It might be somewhat reduced from what it is, Anthony? Is that?
Yeah, that pond's out there.
But overall, I think it's bringing more pervious surface than it has currently, because where it doesn't meet the width requirement, it makes it up for in other areas, especially at the intersection of Spring Road and Cumberland. So we recommend approval, recognizing that it's a pretty confined site with an existing business there that's being redeveloped, and in an attempt to balance the other requirements, we recommend approval on this with the same conditions.
Rusty, did what gets planted? Not Rusty. I'm sorry, Joey. What gets planted, but in the landscape strips, that's going to be reviewed by our arborist, correct?
Absolutely.
Okay. Had a question for the applicant. Did you? How did things go with a green roof?
Not well. But we do have a tree plan that we proposed to you guys. And we're going to be really restricted here because we got Georgia Power easements on Spring Road. There's no easement on Cumberland Boulevard, but there's overhead power there. So they want to allow anything, I think, over 15 feet underneath those lines. So we got to be real careful with where we place the trees, and then we can't put any trees at all in
Right.
the petroleum easement.
Okay, I just was hoping. Thanks.
Any other questions? This is a public hearing. If anyone would like to speak regarding this issue, I ask that you please step to the podium at this time. Seeing no one, I'd like to entertain a motion, please.
Make a motion to approve variance request V16-011, allow landscape strip reduction from 15 feet to 7.5 feet along Spring Road and 10 feet to 3.5 feet along Cumberland Boulevard, 0.988 acres. Land lot 847, 2591 Spring Road, with the same conditions as variance request V16-009.
Second.
It's been motioned properly second that we approve variance request V16011. All in favor, please vote. All right, motion passes unanimously. Next item is a public hearing, variance request V16012, allow additional directional sign at Spring Road and Cumberland Boulevard driveway, 0.98 acres, land lot 847, 2591 Spring Road, Integrity Engineering for McDonald's USA LLC.
So the code only allows for one instructional or directional sign at each entrance. McDonald's has looked at this a lot, and these signs really help identify where you actually turn in to go to a McDonald's, help motorists identify so they're not looking for where they go. So what we like to have is one that says entrance on one side of the driveway where you turn in, and an exit on the exit side of the driveway. So typically 2 per driveway. So we're just asking for 2 per driveway, and there'd still only be 1 on the entrance only driveway that's on Spring Road.
So just for the sake of clarification, you've got a full access entry off of Cumberland and off of, well, it's a shared full access entry off of Spring, right? So you're talking about an entry exit separate in both of those, but the one off of Spring where you share that with the adjoining property, there is an actual full access entry exit at your property line right there. So you're talking about having the entry exit there as well?
On that driveway, it all depends on what we can work out with Aldi, because that driveway's on Aldi's driveway, or that driveway's on their property. So our entrance exit sign may be inside the property on the cross access driveway on that driveway.
But at the full access for your property and not the one off of Spring, right?
That's probably where it's going to be. Aldi probably would not allow a sign, McDonald's sign on their property, is my guess. But I don't know if that's been worked out yet.
And in the right in only at the corner of Spring, you're going to have one that says entry there?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Is that sign that's at the right in only? Is that a one-sided sign?
It's usually a 2-sided sign.
Why would you want to
really wouldn't have a purpose on one side, but that's just the way they all have 2 sides.
That one would have a purpose because it's right in only.
Yeah,
You'd only see it coming from, because what I'm afraid of is, you know it's going to happen. You're going to have the idiots turn in from going eastbound. So can we agree to just make that a one-sided so just the people on the westbound approach would see it?
I do not know if that can be done, because these are made by a sign company. I'm guessing they can blank out one side of it, but I can't answer that for sure. But isn't this going to have a median, so you couldn't even turn left? Do we know what the status of that is?
There's going to be left turn movement at that intersection.
Isn't there going to be a raised median in the middle of the road, though?
Not sure how far down it goes.
Okay.
But
Yeah, because there's a left turn there from Spring to Cumberland Boulevard. Yeah.
I'm not familiar with the exact detail of the intersection.
Right.
I'm probably going to put that in my motion, that sign be one-sided.
Okay.
Now, if there is a median, then that's probably going to be part of my motion.
Okay. Yeah, like I said, I do not know. I'm guessing it can be done, but I don't know for sure. So, but I can definitely look into it.
Are they lit?
Yes.
That's all I have.
Okay. This is a, Joey, do you have anything else? Okay. This is a public hearing. If anyone would like to speak regarding this issue, I ask that you please step to the podium at this time. All right. Seeing no one, I'd like to entertain a motion, please.
Motion to approve V16-012 public hearing, which is a variance request to allow additional directional sign at Spring Road, Cumberland Boulevard driveway, 0.98 acre land lot 847, located at 2591 Spring Road. Integrity Engineering for McDonald's USA, with the previous two stipulations as approved in V16-009, and to add a third stipulation that the directional entry sign for the right-in entrance be one-sided.
Second.
It's been motioned and properly second that we approve variance request V16012. All in favor, please vote. Motion passes unanimously. Thank you very much. Next item is approval of the February 24th, 2016 License and Variance Board meeting minutes.
Motion to approve the February 24th, 2016 License and Variance Board meeting minutes.
Second.
It's been motioned and properly second that we approve the meeting minutes from February 24th, 2016. All in favor, please vote. Motion passes unanimously. I'd like to declare this meeting adjourned at 10:32 a.m. Thank you.